How's it going, ladies and bruises? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Forza Horizon 4. It is time for us to continue our British racing green thing. We were doing well up until the last one where we got 1 star. Other than that, we got 3-star ones. Let's hope we can keep up a pretty good ranking here. Oh god.
You know, I really like this car. Not that I'd want to drive it for too long. Squeeze yourself in there and let's see just how fast you can make it go. Which won't be too fast. But hey, I could be surprised.
Why are we driving this?
The Peel P50 has the dubious honour of being the smallest production car in the world. A one-door microcar coupe, featuring a 42cc air-cooled engine, capable of a heinous 38 miles an hour. And a handle, so you can pick it up and carry it with you when you get to work. And keep in mind that this is the production version. The prototype had the single wheel at the front. Why would you think that was a good idea?
Is the single wheel at the back actually better than the single wheel at the front? I don't see how it's better. 69, a hilarious number.
In 2010, though, production restarted at Sutton and Ashfield. So, if you'd like to own the modern incarnation of this, I suppose you can.
How would I get 2 stars? I can't possibly go any faster than that. It's impossible! How the fuck did you want me to go faster than that? What the hell? I floored it that whole way, and I didn't even steer to make sure that it was going as fast as it could go. What? That one I don't understand. I don't see how you can possibly go any faster. What? What? Oh, you see, I changed the car I was driving in the day-to-day time too, because that TVR thing, oh my god, it was such a nightmare to get around in. Such a nightmare. Oh, that's cool. Desert Dingo Racing Stock Bug. That's real cool. Down for that. Alright, the next one. I assume you have to get 70 with the P50.
Hey there! How about a car with some actual legroom and some actual speed? This section's about what happened when McLaren decided to make a road car. You're going to enjoy this.
Is this the F1? That was their first road car, wasn't it? The F1?
Road have very different requirements. For McLaren, that was a challenge they were more than willing to embrace. In 1988, they set out to create the finest sports car the world has ever seen. By 1993, they had achieved their goal, and the honestly fantastic F1 was the result. 106 would be built across all variants, and it remains one of the very best road cars ever made. The F1 has no turbocharger. That would have compromised the driving experience, increased complexity, and resulted in turbo lag. The F1 is a naturally aspirated supercar.
Ah, too fast.
One of the fastest in the world, in fact. Everything about this car is innovative. From the carbon fiber monocoque to the central driver position. McLaren threw the book away when they designed the F1. Then they wrote a better one.
God damn. Did she say monocoque?
The F1's monocoque chassis is incredibly lightweight. Only 100 kilos.
Oh my god, for fuck's sakes, car! Alright, back it up, back it up. More back, please.
Kilos all told, which posed a significant challenge because carbon fiber and fiberglass aren't great insulators. So, McLaren lined the entire engine compartment with gold.
What? That's super heavy. Doesn't that seem counterproductive for speed? Gold's a heavy metal, man.
In 1998, the F1 prototype...
Okay, I got confused there. Sure, it was pointing me off the road. It is pointing me off the road. What the hell? Okay, it's having a brain fart there. That's not me brain farting. That's the game brain farting.
Fastest production car, a record that would stand for
That's so weird.
decades until the Koenigsegg CCR claimed the crown.
Wasn't that weird?
McLaren's racing heritage is so deeply ingrained in this machine that they took it to Le Mans in 1995 and faced off against purpose-built racing machines and won.
Wow. That's intense, man.
So, with something like the F1 to live up to, where do you go next? Well, you throw the book away again and write an even better one. The result is the McLaren P1, a hybrid electric sports car that stands head and shoulders above the F1.
An electric car.
The
Really?
P1 GTR will hit 60 miles an hour in 2.4 seconds. That's
Far out.
0.7 seconds faster than the F1. That's an eternity for a supercar.
Okay, this
The
thing is
car's
nuts.
blistering performance is delivered by a twin-turbo V8, supplemented by a McLaren ECU electric motor and instant power assist system. And they do mean instant.
This thing is nuts. It's scary, man. Come on, stick to the road, man.
Remember those problems with turbo lag? McLaren solved that with the hybrid drive. While the turbos build pressure, the electric motor drives the wheels. No turbo lag,
Yes.
just torque.
Wow.
And because it's
That's
a
clever.
hybrid, it has an all-electric range. Running on batteries alone, that's 6.2 miles. A bit more if you're going downhill.
3 stars. Finally, we got a 3-star again. That was fun, though. That thing was crazy to drive. That was crazy. Scary, man. It's pretty, too. It's super pretty. Makes the F1 look ugly. And the F1's pretty. This thing's so pretty. Oh, not a skirt. What am I gonna do with that? Wear it on my head? We got any more of these to spin? I think we only got 2 points. Only got 2 points. Hopeless. Let's do the next one.
I quite like sleeper cars. Did Alex ever tell you the story of what we got up to in Colorado? There was this sleeper car competition, you see. Let's just say no one was ready for the sunbeam.
Another Lotus, is it?
Lotus
Okay.
never quite let go of the upgrade game. So in addition to building their own supercars, they upgraded cars from other marques too. The Lotus Carlton was one such aftermarket upgrade. Lotus took a respectable 4-door Vauxhall saloon and turned it into a supercar. From the outside, there are a few signs that this is something special. Wider wheel arches, that sort of thing. But under the bonnet, that's where the magic starts.
This is where the magic happens.
Engine capacity was increased to 3.6 litres, and twin Garrett T25 turbochargers were added. The engine block was reinforced, and new crankshafts were forged by Opel and machined in Germany.
At the roundabout, take the 3rd exit.
The tyres were widened, and the tyre compound from the Lotus Esprit was used. To handle camber change issues, they put in the self-leveling suspension from the Opel Senator. The only upgrade they didn't put in was an electronic speed limiter. All of this resulted in the Lotus Carlton, designated Type 104 by Lotus. A 177 miles per hour supercar, masquerading as a 4-door saloon. Only 950 of these custom gems were built, and they've become something of a modern classic. The Lotus Carlton was an example of how to turn a saloon into a supercar, But that's not the only thing Lotus got up to. In 1979, Chrysler approached Lotus to create a strict rally version of their Sunbeam three-door hatchback. Lotus, as you might imagine, rather enjoyed the challenge.
That's funny, man.
They took the rear-wheel drive hatchback and changed everything that matters. They stiffened the suspension, improved the anti-roll bars, and widened the transmission tunnel.
People that actually made the cars are like, modify our car and make it awesome. That's pretty
Performance was
badass.
increased by fitting a 2.2-litre version of the Lotus 911 slant four-cylinder engine, resulting in an impressive 250 brake horsepower, up from a meager 105 on the original.
I had to say it, but this thing handles like dog shit. But you know.
The Lotus Sunbeam was revealed to the public in 1979 in Geneva to widespread praise in the motoring media.
I guess it's not too bad. Driven a lot better rally cars though. It is definitely sleeping to look at though.
More
Looks like a shitty little
the Lotus
hatchback.
Sunbeam saw racing success too. In 1980, Henri Toivonen won the 29th Lombard RAC Rally in his Sunbeam.
So easy to end up going off the road in it though. It just keeps coming off the road all over the place. Ah, come on. Too much. Hold up. Okay, whatever. Close
It
enough.
almost makes you wonder if Lotus should do more conversions. It's a silly question, actually. Lotus should do more conversions. In fact, I'll call them right now.
1 star. God damn. That thing was fucking horrible to drive. Alright, what's next? I got a lot to do later to like 3-star everything. It's gonna take a while.
I honestly think these might be some of the most beautiful cars in the world. And the story of how it came about is, well, really British. Get in the car and let's get this segment.
Let's do it.
Jaguar is a bit of a favourite of mine. The company is almost 100 years old and was originally founded to build sidecars for motorcycles. But this is the car that really set the bar, I think. The 1961 E-Type. When he saw it, Enzo Ferrari called it the most beautiful car in the world. High praise indeed. He wasn't alone in his admiration. Accolades have followed this car ever since.
Oh no.
It's been in movies, comics, games, and TV
I
shows.
was not aware of the fact that the handle's like getting all
Unlike
slippery
some
ice
later cars
on
the
it.
mark, it wasn't just looks though. The E-Type was light and fast. It would do 153 miles an hour and stopped on innovative four-wheel brakes that were better than anything Ferrari or Porsche or even Mercedes-Benz had.
It's so slippery. Make a good drift car.
It was solid too. with a design based on the D-Type that won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 3 years in a row.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Oh, actually. Well, I shouldn't have slowed down. Don't slow down. I'm gonna blow through the roundabout. Like we always do. Hold on to your butts.
Anyone who owns an E-Type will tell you that the key to their reliability is to
That's
drive
scary.
them regularly, as if you'd need the excuse.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Nearly there, nearly there.
About 2,500 were built, and they're a common sight at auto shows, and surprisingly reasonably priced. All in all, an almost perfect Jaguar. The E-Type was the successor to the Le Mans winning D-Type, but what would that look like if Jaguar designed it today? In 2013, Jaguar answered that question with the F-Type Project 7, a spiritual successor to the E-Type, and designed from the ground up to be the purest, most enjoyable Jaguar yet.
It's bulky looking, man. I like the taillights.
The
Very
car's
cool.
heritage is proudly displayed in the gorgeous D-Type curves and the distinctive aero hunt behind the driving position. But like the E-Type, it's not just a pretty face.
Ooh, it's got a nice engine sound, this one. It might be because we're in a tunnel. It sounds pretty nice though.
Powered by a 5-litre V8
That whirring.
supercharged
Oh,
engine.
so nice.
With a fully aluminium body, it's blisteringly fast. With a 0 to 60 speed of 3.8 seconds and a top speed of 186 miles an hour. A car as beautiful as this must surely
No, no, no. Holy crap. This thing is
has been a carefully
nuts.
authored design. Actually, it started as a sketch by designer Cesar Pieri, thrown together one Friday in his free time.
Who's gonna pretend that a massive fence crash never happened?
Jaguar's design director, Ian Callum, saw the sketch in a thumbnail on Cesar's computer during a meeting and asked him what it was. The rest is history.
On this freeway, we can really open it up. This is a really nice way to test out the high-end cars.
250 Project 7s were built, as both a successor to the E-Type and as a celebration of Jaguar's victories at Le Mans.
Turn around.
Really
when it
open
is
it up
safe
out
to do
there. It's
so.
crazy. Full speed ahead.
I think I speak for all of us when I say, thank heavens for Cesar's Friday afternoon doodle.
Damn it, 2 stars. I was fucking hoofing it, man. How could I do faster than that? Hoofing it. That thing is fun to drive, though. Probably because I didn't have to take any sharp corners in it. It would have been garbage for that, I imagine. But in a straight line, that thing was nuts. Okay, audio went all funny on us again. Don't know what's with my audio at the moment. A bit worried about that. Cadillac, random. Don't know what's causing my audio to go funny. Oh well. I'll just have to fix it when it comes up. Move on to the next one.
We're almost done, but we've saved the good stuff for last. A spot of rallying in the most British car of them all. Get in,
Mini
strap
Cooper.
in, and let's nail this one.
Holy fuck!
One car built in Great Britain that is, quite fairly, considered one of the most
Whoa!
influential cars of the century. It's a surprisingly spacious little city car with a side-mounted engine. It's an icon
Holy
of
shit.
popular culture. It's been built on every continent where there's a car factory. It's the Mini.
I did not expect that. I
The
put down the
Mini Cooper
accelerator
S
and I
was
took off
built
like a
to be
nuclear
performance
missile.
machine. With deeper engines, twin carburetors, and front disc brakes, this scrappy little machine would go on to achieve more than 30 racing victories in the 1960s and 1970s. A Mini Cooper S flying number 37 placed first at the 1964 Monte Carlo Rally. Driven by Paddy Hopkirk and Henry Liddon, this was the last time an all-British crew would win the event. But not the last time a Mini would. At Monte Carlo in 1966, Minis took the first, second, and third positions. They were all disqualified because they had dimming headlamps, not because they were winning everything in sight. In 1999, the Car of the Century Award was presented to the most influential car of the 20th century. The Mini came second. It was beaten by the Model T Ford. That's fair.
Oh, wow.
I suppose.
That is fair. The original
5.3
car.
million Minis
The original
would be
production
sold,
car.
making it the most popular British car.
That thing was nuts. That was nuts.
And then in 2000, BMW resumed production of the Mini, breathing new life into the iconic marque. If the Mini of the 1960s had its sights set on the roads of Monte Carlo, the X-rayed Countryman has its eyes on something a little tougher.
Oh, God.
The deserts and rough terrain of the Dakar, for starters. A wit once said that the
Dakar,
only thing
wow.
Mini in this monster was the pedal. That's rather than missing the point, I think.
This music's badass for this. Drop that middle.
X-rayed Countryman is much, much bigger than the Mini Cooper. It has to be. A stage of the Dakar demands literally tons of gear. You could call it a tank. It does rather sound like one.
This thing's fun to drive too. Minis are great, man.
When Mini's X-rayed division set out to build this thing, they had one goal in mind: winning the Dakar. And they did, every year, from 2012 to 2015.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Alright, back that up. Things got a bit wobbly for us there. Back it up a little bit more. That'll do. I'm on the road, you ass.
It's designed to be driven for 2 weeks over deserts and badlands, 5 kilometers above sea level. And it still handles like a hot hatch on a nice bit of dry airstrip. Owners come and go. The heritage of a car like the Mini is more than who owns the keys to the shop. I fully
Yes.
expect to see Mini's wings flying for another century.
Well, that was awesome. That was awesome. We already got time for one more. Let's do one more. Unless that was the last one. That might have been the last one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, so we got a wheel spin we can use. That's good. Do that. Ah! I wanted that Corvette ZR1. That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. Okay, we got one more. So that was 9. So we're doing the last one then. Let's do it.
This is quite the story. Bentley at Le Mans in the 1930s. Gentleman racers and heroic driving. A personal hero of mine. Take good care of the cars, though. Both of them belong to me.
What, if they belong to someone else you don't care, I can fuck them up. But if they belong to you, then they
A
matter?
company founded in 1919 in Cricklewood, North London, and purchased by Rolls-Royce in the 30s. A company synonymous with both racing and luxury. Perhaps
Mainly
the best
luxury.
example I know of those two extremes of British engineering. For almost a century, every Bentley was hand-built to exacting standards. So at the beginning of the 21st century, when Bentley revealed their first mass-produced car, there were a great many questions. The car was the Continental GT, an elegant grand tourer that combined a racetrack pedigree with exquisite style and all the power you could need.
It actually handles pretty well,
The
surprisingly.
move to mass production has done nothing to blunt the Bentley experience. The 2017 Continental Supersport is responsive, fast, and beautifully designed.
Take that shortcut there. Shave a couple of seconds off. Yeah, don't get a bit of damage to it though, unfortunately. Probably gonna get in trouble for that later. It's only a little
It brings
bit.
together
You can buff
all-wheel
that out.
drive, carbon
Buff
fiber
those
bonnet
scratches out
sides
later.
and side skirts to create the most powerful, performance-focused car the company has ever built.
You're good, you're good, you're good. We'll just buff those scratches out later.
But
Nice.
never forget, Bentley's pedigree is racing, and the Bentley Continental embraces that. In 2007, a largely standard Continental Speed GT broke Bugatti's record for the flying kilometre on the frozen Baltic Sea. And then in 2011, they broke their own record. 205 miles an hour, both ways, on ice. Even when building these gorgeous
That's
Grand
scary.
Tourers, Bentley
Crazy
is
bastards.
driven to excellence.
Well, damage was inevitable there.
Today, Bentley means modern, peerless luxury and elegance. But that's far from the full story. A century ago, Bentley meant something else entirely.
Oh, wow.
It meant Le Mans. In 1930, eccentric race team owner Dorothy Paget financed a rather special Bentley at the Le Mans. It was a 4.5-litre supercharged masterpiece, driven by Sir Henry Bentley Boy Birkin. It posted the fastest time on the day, but it failed to finish. But what a race it was! Sir Henry's courageous driving forced Rudolf Caracciolla's 7-litre Mercedes out of the race at the cost of his own victory. But in doing so, he ensured that the Bentley Sixes would take the victory.
Wow, this thing's super slow and heavy.
Sir Henry
God
knew
damn.
he didn't have anything to prove. In 1929, the adventurer Mrs. Mary Victor Bruce had already driven the resolutely modern 4.5-litre Bentley at Montlhéry, setting distance, speed and endurance records. The Bentley's performance so annoyed Ettore Bugatti that he called it the world's fastest lorry.
That's harsh, man.
Oh, and when the blower finally went on auction in 2012, it fetched more than enough to get yourself a Veyron.
Okay, well, unfortunately, Bandicam cut us off a little bit early. We did get 3 stars in that race. That was the last one in British Racing Green. And we're going to wrap this episode up here. Sorry about that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.